Hey guys, Grace here, and welcome back to the Codex, the Assassin's Creed show where we give you all the latest community news and content. It's been a while since our last episode, but we can't think of a better time to come back than with the launch of Assassin's Creed Origins on the horizon. We've got a ton to cover, so let's just jump right in with the speed drawing of the Nile Delta from art director Raphael Lacoste as he explains how his team captured the mystery and atmosphere of ancient Egypt.
The intention when I'm doing a painting, and it's the same for my illustrators when they work with me, we're not trying to recreate something that is purely realistic. We want to bring emotion to the player. So the idea is really to magnify the scale, to have a very interesting mood, to stylize the colors, to have the most interesting, epic but also immersive experience. We try to keep that as much as possible. Even when we switch in the engine, we use the lighting, rendering and the 3D elements. So this illustration was used as a benchmark for the Giza Plateau, to show the massive scale of the pyramid, the magnificent scale of the pyramids, and the life around the Nile Delta. What is interesting is the contrast between the flat horizontal landscape of the vast fields of wheat, the small characters in the foreground living next to the water, and the massive scale of the pyramids at the distance. Also, I didn't want to bring too much detail into the pyramid because I want to keep that mystery, and that's where atmosphere is playing a very important role in the game. When you have this depth, this feeling of fog, of mist in the distance, you see mysterious shapes and you want to discover what is behind the fog. And that's really something that motivates exploration in the player perspective. And we really want to show that through illustration, but also later on inside the game, in the playground. When we recreated this landmark, we were really fascinated by the size of the monument, the landmarks, but also the colors we could play with, also the diversity in the mood, using the time of day. We really wanted to make sure that every single moment in the time of day was interesting in terms of color palette, but also in terms of mood. So we had spooky moments during the dawn in the Nile Delta, and very scorching lights in the white desert during the day. So I think it's the whole diversity in terms of light, but also biomes and cities that was really a fantastic challenge for the team, but also very interesting to recreate. Something very fascinating and interesting about the creation of the open world of AC Origins is that we had to consider the aerial perspective. We not only play from Bayek's perspective on the ground level, but we also play in the sky with Sinu. So we had to consider that when we crafted the environment, but also the lighting.
While we're here talking to the devs at the Montreal Studio, let's head from the art department to another area of production. We know you guys have a lot of questions about the new combat system, so we sat down with game director Ashraf Ismail to answer them. Here's a little sample of our Dev Q&A video with Ash as he gives us some insight into the combat of Assassin's Creed Origins.
Hey, I'm Ashraf Ismail, game director for Assassin's Creed Origins. What would you say is the biggest change to combat in Assassin's Creed from Dylan? So Dylan, the biggest change to Assassin's Creed in terms of combat, it's that we've drastically changed the paradigm of what is fight. So in previous ACs, we used what we call technically a paired animation system, which means when you swing your weapon, the hero and the enemy align, they play an animation together, you wait for the animation to finish, and then you continue fighting. The change we decided, the paradigm that we shifted, is we went to what we call a hitbox system, which means that anytime you swing your weapon, no matter the distance, no matter if there's no one around you, you're gonna swing. And that means, all of a sudden, that distance matters. The speed of your weapons matter. Your position in fight relative to other enemies also matter. Because now if you have a big spear and you're swinging it around, you can hit multiple enemies all at the same time. So all of a sudden, all these parameters of a weapon really matter in the gameplay. So it's not just about the damage anymore, it's really speed, length, position in fight, the number of enemies you're fighting. That's the basis of it, and then from there, we really go deep on what weapons do the enemies have, how do they behave based on the weapon loadout they have, from heavy weapons to fast weapons to shields. All of this has a huge impact on fight and the way as a player you're meant to read the fight and react to it.
If you'd like to see more of Ash's answers about combat, the full video will be out next week. During the final stretch of development, we want to make sure you guys can keep talking with our developers, so we'll be continuing the series of Dev Q&As with new topics and frequently asked community questions through launch. Make sure you submit your questions to our dev team by tagging us on Twitter and using the hashtag AskACDevs. Speaking of keeping the community engaged with our developers, we are super pumped to announce a new community leader program called the Mentors Guild. Back in January, we brought 10 Assassin's Creed fans from all over the world to visit the Ubisoft Montreal Studio. From cosplayers and wiki editors to Reddit mods and forum posters, we hosted fans from every area of our community to get feedback on the game and to kick off our first pilot group for a brand new kind of community program. Check out this peek into the mentors' visit to Montreal and what the Assassin's Creed community means to them.
These past couple days, they've gone by so quickly, but like at the same time they were really long, but they were filled with like so many exciting things.
Seeing the development process too was mind-blowing because you know how much work goes into it, but then getting to see the faces and meeting everyone.
The mocap was so cool to see. Now when I see the scene in the game that I saw in the mocap studio, it's going to mean so much more, and be like, I was there for that. That's so cool.
I didn't even have words for that because it's just been so overwhelming in a really good way. There's been like no points to like even breathe in between. It's been such a great environment because the things we're doing are exciting, but it's also just being surrounded by such a cool group of people.
Met so many energetic, passionate people who work on the brand day in, day out, and it's just incredible to feel their energy.
There are a lot of games, but Assassin's Creed gives you that feeling of belonging to something, and that changes your life, no matter what.
Every time we go to cons, we're always wearing Assassin's Creed. We always meet up and do photos and take pictures of people and everything, and it's really great. Like, it's helped me meet actual friends, not just online people here or there, or it's actual people in the real world that I'm friends with, that I keep in contact with, that I make an effort to see when we go to conventions and things like that.
I love being here, being surrounded by so many people who love what I love and who are so passionate about their jobs and what they do is just amazing, and it's really incredible, and it's been one of the best experiences of my whole life.
If you want to learn more about what the Mentors Guild is, head over to the AC website article linked below. And do make sure you keep an eye out for more news about the Guild coming very soon. While we love bringing community members to our studios, we also love to showcase your talents here in the Codex. This episode, we've got quite a variety of amazing community creations to show you, from tattoos to handmade signs. First up, we have this Assassin's Creed Origins tattoo from Instagram user Scarrickson. After contacting the AC dev team for some art of a scarab, Scarrickson showed legitimately zero fear and got the symbol immediately inked on his thigh. It's looking good. Next up, we've got Italian cosplayer Handsome Fred, who shared his progress pictures of Bayek Shield, and it's already looking amazing and it's not even done. We can't wait to see the full cosplay. Last, but certainly not least, is Raphael Martinez's super cool wood burn sign. We're loving the hieroglyphics and the new origin symbol. It will make the perfect addition to any community manager's desk. Just kidding. Mostly. We know you all put a ton of love and passion into creating artwork, cosplay, and videos to share with the rest of the AC community. So, in July, we introduced the first round of our Assassin's Creed Origins Community Creation Contest to feature those works and to give away some pretty cool prizes. We saw so many awesome entries, and the whole AC team wants to thank you guys for sharing your incredible talents with us. If you weren't able to enter the first phase, or you've been hunched over that sewing machine making the perfect cosplay, don't worry. You can still enter the second phase of the contest that will be kicking off on September 4th. Make sure you get started on your submission for the chance to win an Xbox One X and the Dawn of the Creed Collector's Edition. Head over to our website at assassinscreed.com/contest for more information. Thanks for joining us here on the Codex. We're so excited to share more Assassin's Creed Origins and community news with you as we get closer to release. We make the Codex for all of you in the community, so we want to hear your feedback. If you want to see more of something or you have a cool idea for a segment, let us know in the comments below. There will be a lot more Assassin's Creed Origins coming your way, so keep an eye on our channels for the latest updates. We'll see you next time!